This video is brought to you by StarCharge, the largest EV charging manufacturer in the world. They are also a provider of residential and commercial battery storage with microgrid solutions. This video is also brought to you by Kempower, the reliable, quick, and scalable EV charging solution for everyone and everywhere. Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. We have 10 minutes till we have to leave the Austin, Texas area, and I'm going to attempt to give you a comparison from my impressions of owning a Rivian R1T, driving the Cybertruck almost 1,000 miles this week, and of course experiencing and driving for many thousands of miles the F-150 Lightning. This is no testing, just impressions, because so many people are like, Kyle, which truck would you go for? Well, in this video, I'm going to attempt to find out how to explain to you or answer that question to you in less than 3 hours. So let's find out. We're actually starting filming while they're getting the truck set up. You can see my friend Scotty from A Girl's Guide to Cars inside the Cybertruck, and we have my friend Matt's F-150 Lightning, my friend Adam's Rivian. Huge thanks to everyone in the Austin, Texas area who offered to help us with the Cybertruck testing this week. It's just been absolutely incredible. You can see the steer-by-wire going with Scotty right there, testing out that rear steering system. Basically, these are the three main electric trucks on the market. There's the Hummer EV as well, which I'll insert a photo of. I parked the Cybertruck next to it. We couldn't get it here for this particular shoot because we just came up with this video 5 minutes ago. And there's also the Silverado EV. There's the Canoe that's coming. Yeah, I know there's some other little things like that, but these are the three, I would say, main electric trucks that everyone is asking me about. And I think it kind of all starts with which one came out first, which is actually, I believe, did the Lightning come out first or the Rivian? Do we know?
I feel like Rivian.
Rivian came out first, so let's start with the one that came out second, which is the F-150 Lightning. You can get a dual motor all-wheel drive with a differential lock on this thing. It's based roughly on just a regular F-150 with a battery pack put inside of it. Again, all of these trucks have, you know, that low to mid 100 kilowatt hour-ish battery pack. This is like 130 kilowatt hours usable, plus or minus. Cybertruck is 124, Rivian's 131. On the large pack, you can get 142 kilowatt hours on the max pack. This one, you can also get a standard range truck in for as low as, I think, 39 grand. I just saw someone advertising a Pro with discounts. That seems like the deal of the century. The thing that it comes down to is, this is a traditional truck that is honestly fantastic. Ford nailed it with the Lightning because they didn't change the formula. The F-150 is one of the best-selling vehicles in America for a good reason. It's large, they're built very well, they're comfortable, and there's a ton of accessories and support. And all of those accessories and supports fit in the back of the Lightning. And so many businesses have started using Lightnings, it's been amazing. But I've also seen Lariats and Platinums being used by families as daily drivers. And I think that's very impressive. Come on down this way. We also have the Rivian R1T. This is a little bit of a smaller truck, but it's more lifestyle, it's more adventurous, it's more off-roady. Of course, where I live in Colorado, this is sort of the truck of choice. My whole neighborhood is filled up with Rivian R1Ts because we all go on the trails on the weekends. I see other Rivian owners out there. They launched with the 4-motor system with crazy suspension, extremely high quality parts, and just really dialing in that adventure feeling. However, when it comes to actual work, the truck's a little bit too small for a family. It's like between a mid and a full-size truck, and it's definitely compact, and there is a compromise for that. So I know many people who are like, I would have loved a Rivian, but you know, my family fits so much better in the cab of the F-150. And then you have, I would say, almost the mix in between, which is the Tesla Cybertruck. You can see it's actually shorter and it looks big without other vehicles around, but when you park it next to these two vehicles, of course, I don't need to explain the styling to you. You have eyes and you're watching a screen. It looks wild. However, it's not that big in person when you really start parking it next to Ram 1500s in parking lots and other stuff like that. And so the Cybertruck has a really nice large cab, much larger than the Rivian R1T, and a bigger bed than the Rivian R1T, but I think it still has this sense of occasion and fun and pretty craziness that you don't get with the F-150. However, I think that all three of these trucks serve a completely different audience. Everyone's going to want to see a frunk comparison. So let's open the front trunk of all three of these right here for you. And I don't know why this is such a big deal, but so many truck owners love their front trunks. Oh, the Rivian's locked. There we go. And front trunk is going. We need to start with the king. The Mega Power Frunk. This is 400 pounds of payload, 400 liters of space, has a whole bunch of wall outlets in here with Ford Pro Power. You can see we have, 120 volt NEMA 520 outlets, USB-C, USB-A, part of the Pro Power onboard system, which part of having an electric truck and carrying around a giant mobile battery pack with you is just absolutely fantastic. And you can fit so much stuff in here. And there's even an underfloor storage when you can see this F-150 Lightning owner, like me, adapters, tie downs, and you still have a usable truck. You can also take this out, and on the backside, there's like a whole bunch of useful things. You have a ruler, you have places to put stuff. I mean, Ford, this is what they're good at. They understand the use case of a truck, and they start from what do truck owners do and then build a truck around them rather than trying to get owners fit around their truck, which I would argue both of these kind of are compromises. Of course, the Cybertruck front trunk has a nice low in-depth or a low loading height, I should say, but it's quite narrow. It is wide, I think 55 inches wide, which is quite useful. But Francie, can you fit in there? Hop in. Let's see if we can get you in there. All the way, we're closing it.
No.
Yeah, you think you can fit?
No. I do not believe that I'll fit.
Yeah, I don't know. These things are pretty sharp, and we've learned there's no pinch sensors on the Cybertruck. So it just, we can make you fit. We'll just slice off bits.
Like a magician.
Yes, like a magician's act. And then you have the Rivian R1T, which really the main problem with the Rivian front trunk is this up and over lifting thing that you have to do. And I find as a Rivian owner, I really actually don't use my front trunk that often. But when I had the F-150 Lightning on test, I actually just used it like a normal car trunk. It was really, really useful. This is a super deep front trunk. If you come on in here and take a look, you'll see it goes pretty far down. And of course you have a divider. This one's filled with a few things, but the Rivian is probably the most, I don't know. I love the Rivian. It's, to me, the best looking truck of the three. The F-150, of course, is very common. We're used to seeing them. This looks premium, but not pretentious, and it's got this kind of cool vibe to it. No one's angry at you when they see you roll up in a Rivian. It's just a good look. However, when you roll up in a Cybertruck, you're either the coolest kid in town or you're the most hated person around. And you just have no idea until you start looking at all the faces around you. It's really a polarizing vehicle. Me personally, I love it. I think it is so cool, but I definitely understand why some people don't like the Cybertruck. It makes a lot of sense to me. Let's go in the cabs. I'm just gonna have a seat or show you inside each vehicle. Again, we only have a few minutes here, so let's go quick. You can see the Rivian has the smallest cab. Let's go wide view, Francie, if you don't mind. And that way we can just show. I'm gonna sit in the back seat here. Just do a quick rear seat. We'll do a rear seat test on the way out, front seat test, and then the bed test, okay? So back seats are good headroom, but again, my knees are quite high because the battery, they stuffed as many as they could in here. This vehicle is just so nice. The material quality, the size is small-ish, but I like that for me. But for families, I mean, you've put two big adults back here, no one's sitting in the middle. This is not a big truck at all. Let's jump in the Cybertruck because I think you guys are going to be really impressed with the rear seat room in the Tesla Cybertruck. Let's come on over here. As I hop into the Cybertruck, we have, of course, cameras everywhere. Brandon Tesla Flex popping in. Hey, dude. Back seat's awesome in this. The seats are awesome. The floor feels a little bit lower. I can put my legs so far up underneath this front seat, even with it in the lowest position. So I just have a much better leg angle. All, the Rivian and this both having this kind of nice glass roof is wonderful, but the size is good. I got so much more room to breathe in this one. And honestly, this has a cooler cab. Let me just show everyone the view looking forwards. It just looks like you're in the future, and you can see all of our friends and everyone who's helped us this week here. Can't thank everyone enough for helping us with all of the reviews. It's been amazing. This is the last one right now, but more to come very soon. And then on the Lightning, I'll just go to the other side because we parked them pretty close. But in here, again, chunky door handle, power rails come out. There are car seats in this one, but you can see plenty of room. And this has just a nice, usable interior. This is the most traditional choice. It is, I would say, the one that you know, can make logically to your family. I'm gonna get an F-150 that's electric, makes sense. All of that is pretty cool. Just quickly about battery specs, range, charging. I know I don't want to go on too long. I'll just share some of my impressions. F-150 Lightning doesn't have any good peak charging speeds. I think the most I've ever seen is about 175 kilowatts on this one, which is okay. But what they do really well is great thermal management, even without max tow pack, which adds an additional compressor to cool the battery pack. So I really like the thermal management on the Lightning for charging consistently while towing. But 175 kilowatts peak for a small boost, and then 120 all the way up to 80%. Interestingly, this and the Rivian large pack charge from 0 to 80% in just about the same amount of time. But the Rivian gives you a big peak down low and then slowly comes down in the charging curve. That's great for me because the Rivian will do 212 kilowatt peak or so, and I like that road tripping charger to charger. So I'm actually faster road tripping my Rivian than the Lightning. And the reason is for that small peak, but when I'm towing and I have to do deep charges, the Lightning is actually better because, again, they get to 80% in the same time, and this has better thermal management. The Cybertruck at the time of this recording, and I hope that Tesla improves it, has a great charging peak, 250 kilowatts at the moment. Tesla has mentioned 350 kilowatts coming in the future. That sounds awesome. That's on par with Hummer EV, which is 365, 366 kilowatts, and the Hummer can hold it like a monster, but it's 240 kilowatt hours, so the C rate isn't even that crazy. This thing will rip on charging till 25%, and then it just hits a wall. And at like 53% state of charge, this thing's doing 115 kilowatts. The Rivian's doing 140, 155 kilowatts plus or minus, and this thing's still just sitting, you know, if you start low, 120, but all the way deep. So in terms of like road tripping, this might actually do better in the 10% challenge. I can't wait to test it and see how it does. But ultimately, I think if you're using your truck for work and charging like most people, not being an idiot like me, draining the vehicles to zero and doing the out of spec style road tripping, if you're just trying to use your truck, this actually kind of wins a bit on charging. Actually, it's the only one of the bunch that has an 80 amp onboard charger as well. So for level 2 charging at home or on the farm or at your workplace, you can really onboard a lot more AC charging than the 48 amps of each particular vehicle. This is also, you know, in terms of range, they're all pretty similar. No question, the Cybertruck has the smallest range of the bunch. It's the smallest battery, did 254 miles at 70 miles an hour in our test. Now, we really need to run them all on the same day to make a fair comparison. This did about 270, and that did, I don't know, high 280s, something like that, the Rivian. So the Cybertruck has maybe the kind of lowest range and the worst charging curve of the bunch, but it does have the highest charging peak speeds, something to keep in mind. I said I was going to do a front seat comparison on the way out. You're going to open the passenger seat, Francie. I'm going to jump in the driver's seat, and then we're going to end this video very quickly. So in the driver's seat of the Rivian, oh, so good. So driver focused. I can get right on the ground. Great steering wheel, fantastic driving performance. It's comfortable daily driving. You can back the suspension off. You can go hardcore off-roading with infinitely variable roll stiffness control with that hydraulic sway bar. You can just waft along. It's got great driver assistance where now when you change lanes, it'll actually lock you back in to the lane that you change into. It doesn't do auto lane changes yet, but it's just awesome. It does only work on pre-mapped highways, though both this and the Lightning have some highway restrictions. I'll mention that as well. And yeah, the Rivian, you guys know, I've done so many driving reviews. For me, if I had to choose one vehicle to live with forever, this is it. It's the right size, it's the right look, it's the right materials, it's the right driving performance. And yeah, I can find things to nitpick about it. I spent a lot of money on my truck. I'll nitpick about it, but I just freaking love this thing. Okay, Cybertruck. Let's do it. Run, 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 run. Heading over to inside of this one now. Cabin view. So cool. First of all, massive windshields. Goes all the way straight. Squircle with steer-by-wire. But I got to tell you, the seat in this thing, there's more breathing room than the Rivian. There's just really some space in this, and it's so cool. Driving the Cybertruck is the most unique, one of the most unique experiences I've ever had. And if I had to do a lot of urban driving, this is the one I would choose. First of all, it makes everyone kind of either love you or hate you around you. I kind of like that to an extent. The steer-by-wire is next level because you're just turning this much around the city. But the Cybertruck currently at the moment does not have differential lockers, which means it's kind of a no-go for off-roading until they software update it. They're physically in there, they're just not working. And also in terms of highway, it's a little bit noisier than definitely these two. And I think if I was doing a lot of highway driving, I'd probably go for either the Lightning, which has good driver assistance, or the Rivian, because this doesn't even have autopilot at the moment. It just has adaptive cruise control. And it doesn't even push you in if you hit a lane. So it must be something to do with the steer-by-wire where it just doesn't allow in, any sort of lane centering or control of the steering. The sound system in this one is by far superior to the bunch. There's so many little portions that the Cybertruck just smokes these other two on. Sound system, definitely one. Probably drivetrain performance, thermal management. This is so good at all of those things. But I think it's a well-rounded package. Maybe software will improve the Cybertruck. I really hope it can, but we always say we can't review anything other than what we're seeing right now. And this is a customer delivered truck. This is not a pre-production prototype. And certainly this is the most unique of the three to drive. It's got a lot of room. It's fairly comfortable, but it is the stiffest riding one of the bunch. Even to say that, it's quite comfortable. And this is no autopilot. So for me, it's kind of a bummer. Lightning, let's go. Let's go inside the Lightning now. So love that the retractable side steps come out. Now I feel like I'm actually in a truck. Big steering wheel, big room, big shifter. But here's what Ford gets so right. I can retract the shifter. I can have a workspace here. They really, like I said, well, now the shifter's coming up. They start at what you need to do, which is write reports, do things, and then build a truck around it. You have outlets here on the dash, ready to go. There's not even a 12-volt outlet in the Cybertruck because it's a 48-volt system. It's pretty crazy. Here you have, of course, brake-by-wire, great power and acceleration, but such a slow steering rack and very soft and squishy. As a driving enthusiast, this is not the one to go for on-road driving. However, you can go ESP full off in this and the Rivian and slide it around and do fun stuff. And that's what kind of lets me down about the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck is supposed to be the cool, crazy, fun thing, and you have to put it in all the off-road modes to even back off stability control. On this, on the street, if I want to slide it around a little bit, I could. Not that I recommend it because the suspension's really soft and wallowy. In terms of driver assistance in this, Blue Cruise rips. It's so good. It does eye tracking, lane centering, automatic lane changes. Does it do automatic lane changes? I'm pretty sure Blue Cruise 1.2 does. Anyway, I've run it in the hogback. It did really well on the Mustang Mach-E. Same system here, eye tracking system, and when you lose the pre-mapped highways, it just reverts to like a Rivian system where it wants you to touch the wheel to do lane centering, unlike GM Super Cruise and the Hummer EV that only works on pre-mapped highways. So that's good. Actually, the Rivian only works on pre-mapped highways. That's annoying. That's not so good. Big glass roof in this one as well, which is really nice. Bed sizing, it is a truck after all. Let's go do it. This is how we end the video. So, couple really nice things about the F-150, again, starting at the customer use case. Power tailgate in this particular one. And you have a step that folds out so you can actually get into your truck. How nice is that? You also have measurement materials all around here, which is just great. And I'm folding this up and going quick because we got to rock and roll. And I have power ports back here, NEMA 520 outlets all over the place, and a NEMA, I think, 1430. Is that what this one is? 1030, it doesn't even say. Oh yeah, 1430R, I was right. And but that's kind of annoying because no one actually uses that. I really wish Ford would update this with a NEMA 1450 like the Cybertruck has, but I love it. You get bed lights in here, all selectable. Oh, the lighting, even at nighttime. By the way, this is a power tailgate. I didn't need to do that. Even at nighttime when you're working around your F-150, there's scene lighting so it can light everything up. In the Cybertruck and the Rivian, it's dark, I can't see anything. The Rivian does come with a flashlight though, so that's kind of cool. Power tailgate in this one. This is sick, comes with a power tonneau, which is pretty sweet. Love the power tonneau on this one. Deep bed, actually quite usable, more usable than I was expecting, so that's really cool. In terms of payload, they're all fairly similar. It's not like a diesel truck or anything that has a huge high payload. Underfloor storage in this one. No spare tire in the Cybertruck. This is a truck, you're gonna go off-road, I want a freaking spare tire. The Lightning and the Rivian both have them. This one, not so much. Watch your hands there, Francie. We do have 2 NEMA 520 outlets, and a NEMA 1450. By the way, in another video, I put that the outlets will not work while charging. That's true until a future software update comes, and you'll get about 4 kilowatts while charging. No power tailgate. It is a soft close, and it is a light tailgate to close. I showed you in another video, I did it with one finger. This one feels heavier than the other one though, so maybe it's not consistent. Power close though, love the power tonneau, that actually works, although we did find a Cybertruck that had a broken one. It was minor, you could power through it by holding the button. And then you get the Rivian, which this is the downside of the Rivian. The bed's too small. It's 4 feet, 4.5 feet, something like that. This one's loaded full of junk at the moment, but you know, this is where I want my truck to have a bigger bed. And again, the Rivian's not in the same sizing category as those two, but certainly this is where I want it. There's 120 volt outlets in this one, no 240 volt outlet. And again, the Cybertruck having that 1450 is so nice, but I do have a onboard air compressor right here, which is pretty cool. There's a power tonneau cover in the Rivian. We all know how well that works out for them. It's utter trash. Although mine, I think, was the last working one. I got 50,000 miles out of the original tonneau, but it just broke the other day. However, there's a new design that actually works now, we're told. We're gonna find out because my truck is scheduled to go in and get it. So ultimately, I think that roughly sums up the differences in as quick amount of time as I could. You can go for your adventure off-road truck if you want to have it. It's also a fantastic daily driver. You look, you know, it's a very Patagonia truck. You can go absolutely tech bro craziness with some off-road cred after some software updates and everything like that, or you can go more traditional working man F-150 Lightning that I actually think a lot of people still, after watching this video, and even though it's slightly behind on some of the integration and app and tech stuff, this thing is still the truck for many people. So I think they all win depending on the type of person. For me personally, what's the truck I'm gonna go for? The Rivian R1T fits what I like to do, which is adventure, trails, towing, 11,000 pound towing on that one. Actually, both the Cybertruck and the Rivian can do 11,000 pound. The Lightning is 10. But yeah, we have so many videos to do, so many comparisons, so many range tests, and hell yeah, this was so cool. What a week in Austin. Thanks so much for watching another Out of Spec Reviews video. See you in another one soon. Bye-bye.